pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Meeting come to order. Everybody get a copy of the previous meeting minutes? Any additions or corrections?
I move that they accepted as Megan.
Second. All in favor? Okay. New business. I guess we'll start with Vicki.
I have two things. Probably a month or so ago, I happened to ask Todd, and you guys know about this, that trustees are supposed to get $100. You pay them $100 because, you know, when they took away their job, you still had to pay them something, so you chose $100. Well, last year they did not get their $100, and I checked with Laura to see, and it was just an oversight. They didn't get it out there, but the $800 is still there. So can we get that back in so all of my trustees can get their $100?
We didn't encumber.
I'm not aware of that. We never done the budget anywhere, is it?
Yeah, it's in my budget.
It's in your budget.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know. Within the general fund?
Pardon?
Your fund, in your budget in the general fund?
Yes,
Is it a line item?
it is on my budget. It's been in there ever since, and I didn't really know why. I mean, I guess just because we'd already worked with them, that I was told to put it in my budget. And it was voted on to pay them $100. They said you can pay them whatever you want to. You guys don't remember any of this? And I don't know if, well, it was the year that the governor took away their jobs.
Took away their jobs.
And the council was to pay, or whoever, the county was supposed to pay all the trustees something because they lost all that, but they still do the work on the cemetery, fire department, poor relief. Trying to think what else they do. They have their budgets and things.
They lost their assessing side.
Right. And so you voted to pay them $100. And so I put the $800 in my
We did it
budget.
on 8 because Hamilton Township had an assessor.
Yes,
That's the reason it was $800.
right,
Because there's 9 townships.
right. We paid Jim the other way, so we didn't, he got cheated out of his 100, I guess.
I don't think about it. I mean,
Huh?
before I got on the council.
She's getting it.
It very easily could have been, I don't know how many years ago that's been.
Trustees, $800. Assessor, general
Well,
fund.
it's probably in the line item on this year's too, right?
Yes.
So the money's in there for this year.
Yeah, and
They
Laura
didn't get
said,
paid last year.
Laura said it's in there for last year. She said, she looked it up and she said, yep, there it is. You have $800 there.
Which one you got there, 13s or 12s?
This is mine for this year.
Well,
It's in there for-
I got it, I could save you a trip.
That's
I
all
was
right.
looking
For
for 12.
Diane. And I had that, I have this
It
paper
shows
here
you
too
12
that
and
ended
13
the
in there.
12/31/12 and the $800 is there. I got mine too. I'm sorry, Diane. I didn't realize that's what you was going for.
Well, she didn't tell any of us.
I just thought I was none.
Right there. Anybody wants to?
So all we got to take care of was last year's.
Last year.
It's in this year, but
Will we need to do an additional for that, or
we wouldn't have to do it right now.
just go ahead and pay it?
Pay it to it, we're at.
Okay.
Since it's a line item, we wouldn't.
Well, it'll clean it
We
out
wouldn't
for
have
this
to
year.
have been covered.
You made a motion?
Brian made the motion,
Motion to pay.
Second.
Larry made the second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Now, number 2.
Okay, let me ask you, if you take it out of this year's budget, can we income? How
We'll
we
do
gonna do
with the
that?
additional appropriation to
Okay,
pay for this
okay.
year.
Okay,
Like, we can do that anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, we just pay it, we'll see what happens.
I see.
It comes later in the year.
Okay, yeah, the new program. I went before the commission last week, I guess it was, and we discussed them both, and the other company was here, and they took a vote and to get Exsoft, and this is Ed Kerner from Exsoft, and what I gave you was the pros and cons. This this assessor had studied for a year and a half. They were gonna get a new system. And he called, and I think you read my email that he sent me. He had called all the counties that had Exsoft and all of them that had Guts. And Exsoft won on every county. He said there just wasn't any comparison. Guts was a good, a company, but it wasn't what Exsoft was. And Guts still didn't have all the programs that we needed either. And Exsoft already has every program ready for us right now. I mean, they have every program we need for the state. The state wants everything sent electronic now, and we have to have a program for, everything. What we used to be able to get by with a spreadsheet, they don't want anymore. They want a regular program from our vendor. And
So what's, you got 160, Vicki, how much
Yes.
of that is annual? You got including yearly maintenance, what the yearly maintenance?
it's in there,
I know, but how much?
19,000,
So the software's 141,
yes,
19 is for maintenance.
maintenance.
That means every year, one
Yes.
year.
So what did you have budgeted for maintenance with your?
Oh, it was like 20-some thousand,
You got
like
that budget.
28,000, yeah,
You've got that budget,
yes.
so we're talking about half.
Oh, yeah, right, I've got that budgeted, right, Rick,
The 141 is
right,
the issue.
right. I've got over that budgeted.
Good.
They said, yeah, I know, they sent me a bill for it yesterday, and I said, I don't think they got the memo, we can't use their system no more. But
She has 28,000 in program and maintenance,
I thought it was,
and then she has her trending contract and then her reassessment contract.
yeah.
I think the way to talk to somebody that possibly could pay this over 2 years. The
Mhm.
141,
I called Ed.
is that all right, Ed? The equal amount?
They split it up, and it's in, matter of fact, the documents that the commissioner signed, it's broke up for 2 years.
That's the way you had the contract. You said
Yeah.
you didn't know when I
Yeah.
talked to you.
I
what you
can
put
get
in
the
contract.
contracts if you want to see them, I left them up in the safe. I just got this information.
And because of what happened, the commissioners wanted it paid over a 2-year period to make sure everything was working all right and everybody was satisfied before the county made an investment for it, a total investment.
What did you say you had in maintenance support there?
28,000.
Yeah.
28 is what was in here. I thought you said 20.
No. That's about how much it ran. I mean, most companies really charge more than 19,000. I never had a company be that low on maintenance and support.
Are we guaranteed this will interface with WOW?
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you.
We're not gonna be sitting here arguing this out this spring or next spring or whatever.
Out of the 28 we had before you guys signed,
That's-
18 of them were Lown Associates.
That right there, the one I laid on the middle, that's the one that tells.
So do you have software that same as WOW does for the other offices too? So you don't compete with
We
WOW?
only specialize in appraisal software.
They don't have it.
And see, Loud
And it
doesn't
was-
have the assessing program.
And it was only developed for the state of Indiana,
Down to, I might get
You're
back.
located out where?
Noblesville.
Yeah. You got lost.
Yeah, the young man that did this program just made it for the state of Indiana, and he went out on his own. He worked for the state and the assessor's office, and
He worked for Elkhart County Assessor, then was with a company called Plexus. And Manatron bought them out, and when Manatron bought them out, he chose to develop his own software and stay strictly for the state of Indiana.
Well, I assume this is a general fund expenditure, is it? Not?
How long's it gonna take you to get all this put together?
It honestly, for this conversion, it'll probably take at least 6 weeks to
What they gonna do
convert
for
the
this tax
software.
season?
we have a little bit of problem because our internet is so slow, and our program, you know, had several problems, and to pull that information is one of the things we're waiting on our internet to get reestablished too.
Has Fred told you when that'll happen?
Pardon?
Has Fred told you when that'll happen?
Supposed to be this week is what he told me last week.
But this week it's no, last week, okay.
Last week when I talked to him, he said, I'll be starting on it next week. He said, probably the first of the week. And,
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we have an additional appropriation to the general fund of, like $71,000 for this year. And we'll pay the bill for this year, we'll deal with the rest of it in budget time.
you got the reassessment fund,
Second.
right? Out of the reassessment fund.
You've got reassessment money for it.
We have some.
What dollar amount was there?
Oh, she'd got money, she'd got money in reassessment fund for new software, I should.
I don't know how much of this is going to Tyler. Do you know how much of this, what we got in their value for this year going to Tyler? She has $77,000 in the trending, for the trending contract, and then $124,620 for the reassessment contract. But they
Now what?
They pulled out
Oh,
1 year. They pulled back 1 year, so will you be using all that? This? Will you be using all this?
Yeah, Rick.
I don't know for sure.
So,
I didn't look at our contract to see how that is.
We got two line items, 155 and 124 in your budget. What are those for, Vicki?
Well, you only adopted 77,000 at one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, 77 and 124.
How much of that is dedicated to Tyler?
I don't know, I really don't know without looking to see what. No.
And those other counties you've got that you fixed up, are any of those you're working? Like, we need to pick those in.
No, right there, I was gonna show,
Well, I was wondering how many of them were, you were getting information from Tyler on that.
The only county Tyler's left in is this county. We did a.
That's on the software though.
Yes,
Haven't they got, they're still doing the field work on a
Yes.
bunch of them?
yeah.
Are any of those field work ones in those other counties you're involved with?
Yeah, Ripley County.
And what they're giving you does work, I mean, you're able to get what you need.
Well, see, you're the only one that has their software. Now, Tyler doesn't use their software in those other counties. They're only doing the actual field work. So this is a nightmare in itself because of the way the software is written and the language it's written in. Now, Tyler is cooperating with us. We've already talked with them 2 or 3 times, preliminary, but there has to be an internet connection, and it's called a VPN connection. And until we can get that VPN connection, we can't download the stuff to do the conversion.
Virtual private network.
Huh?
Virtual private network.
Yeah, that's what I use.
is that who Randy Cleveland may have to?
Yeah, and the guy who set up that VPN for Tyler and that, the VPN stuff, is Randy Cleaver, who used to do you guys' work.
He
So I
is
don't know if he's
good.
gonna have to get involved with it or not. That one I can't tell you.
Well, let me change my words so we can get away from this. After Vicky presents us the pilot stuff and the bills and all that stuff, so we know where we're at.
Yeah,
Then after that's happened, I make a motion that what the balance needed, that there'd be an additional appropriation,
Cover that expense.
covered for our next meeting, to cover the expense.
For this 1 year.
For the first year.
Yeah, for the first year.
Is that fair enough?
Jim?
well, yeah, I don't, whatever you guys wanna do, it's fine with me, I just didn't know if you wanted to take it out of reassessment or see if we had any.
I don't think you got it.
Well, Diana and I talked, because we hadn't got, obviously we don't have our allowance yet for, because until taxes are paid and,
You mean for reassessment?
For
You
settlement.
don't have that much money.
but we will get a settlement and,
I'm projecting it out, I got it right here, after you get reassessed, above and beyond your budget for reassessment, you got $80,000, but if you spend all that, we'll be in trouble at the end of next year, so, it's kind of catch.
We'd be better off to
I think we just figured out what we need to have, like we told you.
an additional.
And if you need a question, call me, we'll sit down, figure out how much more we need, we'll do an addition, make it payment. That's the motion.
Okay, Jim made a second. Any further discussion, gentlemen? All in favor of the motion? Okay. Okay, Vicki. Thanks,
thank you
Ed.
very
Well,
much.
we're gonna keep moving forward with it since we know where you guys are at.
The amount that she.
Because she's going to need to get this converted as soon as possible, or it's gonna hold up you guys'
For
taxes.
1 year, for the first payment.
Because the software basically is unplugged or not using it, so they're falling behind every day with their work. So we're gonna keep moving.
So we can't
forward.
send out bills, or that's all done, right?
Pardon?
You can't send out the tax bills, so that's all done?
We can't, we've already rolled to.
Yeah, you're all right with taxes for this
You
year.
are?
Yeah, we've already
Printing
rolled.
next week.
Huh?
Printing next week.
So you're ready to print?
Yeah.
Where you don't wanna run behind
Yeah,
is 13, pay 14.
yeah.
Because what she's supposedly supposed to roll to you, what, July, is it 1st or August 1st?
July 1.
July.
So see,
Because we have to turn it in August 1.
we're getting close. I mean, we're pushing the timeline.
Yeah.
So we'll keep working on it.
They've been working on it ever since we talked, I mean. Thank you very much.
I'll give you guys my card. If you need to get a hold of me for anything, don't hesitate to call me. That's my personal cell phone number. It's on the nightstand at night, but I appreciate not getting called in the middle of the night.
We want to
Some
know,
people tend to do that to me just to be obnoxious, but I still answer it though.
I need one.
Okay, sure. Call me if you need to. All right, thank you
Diane,
guys
I'll
very
get
much.
back with you tomorrow.
Okay, Benji.
First things first, I asked for an appropriation last month, the
We got that on
$841,000.
our agenda.
Okay,
You want to take care of that before you talk?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we need to take care of the additional appropriations that you advertised, Dwayne, I guess, first.
It's in that folder it was.
Well, it's here too.
And this one?
It's just legal. Isn't that legal?
Highway Fund 1176, $841,795.
And you got some money in there for a new file server, I think, 2 of them, right? For the general fund, there's four things there.
Well, yeah, I thought you were just gonna take care of it.
No,
Take care of them all. Okay,
it's all
general
on one
fund's
legal ad.
9,500. The edit fund is 4920. Probation fund, $2,500. And $841,795.
I ran all
four of them.
I read all the financials on that, and I make a motion that we approve those additions.
Second motion.
Thank you.
There's further discussion on those? Okay.
Okay, and I am sending
All in
the
favor?
specs
Okay.
to
Motion carries.
Wabash Valley and Dave O'Meara. They're the ones that always bid on our projects, and those are 4 extra in case anybody wants them. Anybody answers the ads. Okay, I want to tell you where we're at on the trucks. Good news is I think we can get everything we want with what you guys gave us. They're a little bit more than what I thought, but District 3 is pretty adamant about replacing their blown engine with a new 10-wheeler. Originally, we thought maybe we could buy 3 new single axles, but, and I think we can do this, we've got the money. We can put that 10-wheeler out for bid. The single axles they don't have to be bid. We can put the single axle out for bid, and most bid specs for trucks like that ask for an option on a lease purchase. We've got money in our for leases, enough money in our leases to pay that first year this year if we exercise that option
Are you talking about on the big truck now?
on the 10-wheeler.
Okay.
We would put that out for bid as of the next commissioners meeting. We can buy 2 new single axles with the $180,000 you gave us last meeting.
That's that's the 77,000 get coming from FEMA, right?
Yes, yeah, and that is
Not
here.
got here yet?
Yes, it is. Yes, it has.
So
It's
you're
here.
gonna have to advertise the additional for next meeting. So the 70,000 been deposited, right? FEMA money, Brenda?
Yeah.
70,000, so we'd give you another 110 on top of that. Okay, so, okay.
What's the single axle bids?
Well, we got some quotes.
Offers.
We got some quotes from several different people. We've had them as high as 105,000. We've had them as the International, Indy Trucks International. We got 2 different bids, depending on what the chassis, and I don't understand all that, but one was 67,000, one was 72,000 something. And the one we really like is from Kenworth, and it's at 72,000, but we got to put beds on those. And we can get beds for about 12,000. So we can buy those trucks and then the beds and keep it under the 75,000 bid. So it's at around 80.
89.
84,000.
Yeah. Then there's some other things that's got to be done to those trucks too to make them plow ready, but you know, it's not
You got to
major.
put the hydraulics in the front.
Hydraulics and some electrics.
Basically, they're going to be under 90,000 where we can buy 2 of them.
And then you're gonna lease another truck.
This would be a Kenworth, probably.
Well, I don't,
You
maybe,
guys don't like those internationals, they don't
Maybe.
used to, I mean, they don't want internationals, do they?
I don't know. We haven't even looked at them yet. We did see a Kenworth last week. We really liked it.
Depends on what engine they got in it.
Transmission's what everybody like about it.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. I know we like the Kenworth. We saw one Friday. They brought it down, but we've not seen the internationals yet. We did get quotes from Freightliner and Mack. They were pretty high, about 105,000.
In the international, the state's buying,
You know, I think.
they got a bunch of them, they're running these ones in single
Yeah.
axle.
Are they new ones?
International.
Are they new ones? Do you guys have any idea where I can check on, see who's got those? How I can check on the state bid? I don't know.
If you go on state bid, there's a contact number.
There is a contact number online. Okay,
You call them.
okay. Okay. Well, I didn't find it, but I'll try again. We've got a little bit of money left in new equipment that we could possibly even buy another used truck to put on the Durapatch, the second Durapatcher. See, we bought a used one earlier, and it worked out real good. You say you saw it, Larry?
Yeah, it does.
And we've got our eyes
Is that
on
a used
another
truck?
one. Yeah.
I saw, is that the one Kenneth's got?
Yes, and we've got our eyes on another one to put on the other one. That would free up the truck that's on it now, because we're putting together a ditching crew and we need all the trucks we can get as far as that goes to put on the countywide ditching crew.
Terrible, did
Huh?
That Durapatcher truck you bought,
We bought it at Terre Haute. Ileana.
Oh, yeah.
What year's it? It looks pretty decent.
You remember, Marvin, what it was? It didn't have very many miles on it. I
It
don't
looked
know.
pretty nice.
Yeah, it does. It does. So anyway, I want to let you know what we're doing. I don't need more money. We can do what we can do with what we got. So I just want to let you know, tell you I appreciate it.
So on the 10-wheeler that you're gonna lease, tell me what your plans are for that.
Well, we'll have to put it out for bid.
I understand that. What kind of money you think you're talking about?
113 is the general number we've got.
Without a bed.
And you're gonna lease to
No, it's
buy?
got a bed. It's got a bed,
And you're gonna lease to buy
at least about.
at any point in time?
Which is what we did in 2007 when we bought one for District 1 and paid it off in 4 years. We paid a little bit more that way because I think the interest rate was 5 1/4 or something like that.
And you've got enough money in this year's lease, but I think legally, if you do that, you gotta come back to the council for approval. Because that means you've gotta have that much money, your lease money going forward. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at least need to inform us before you sign that contract, because that means we agree to put the money in your budget.
The next year's.
In future years to cover that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But it's beyond the money you've got budgeted.
Do we need that approval before we put it out for bid?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Don't see any problem then. Okay. We're gonna get that out for bid. Okay. Last thing being, any more questions on trucks or anything?
Are you going with common caller?
Well, we ain't even talked about color. You didn't believe the problems we've had getting everybody together.
How about that multi-color with your head? What color was that, Brian? You guys looked at?
Red and white. Had
What was the make of it?
pickup.
What make was it?
Well, it was either a Chevy or a GMC. Had the grill of a Chevy and the door of a GMC.
Looked like it'd come out of a NASCAR race.
Yeah. Yeah. Demo derby.
That's what I was gonna say, demolition derby.
Did you buy it from Johnny Cash?
We spotted it, didn't know.
I got a call from Luke, or Jane got the call from Luke about 3 o'clock. And on these state buildings that we're trying to acquire, the one at Shelburne we can have within 2 weeks. But we need $4,350 to purchase that. That's the buildings and the land at Shelburne.
How many acres?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
It's big enough.
3 acres,
It's big enough. It's what we need.
3 acres probably.
And that's where District 3 is gonna be.
Should have told Wayne, you might want to buy it.
Oh, but
That's cheap from Farm.
Get crop insurance on. Get crop insurance.
All right, what about the other one?
Okay, that's where it gets complicated. We thought that was probably out the window because that supposedly it had to be offered to the original owner, which was Jack Mize. It was his family, I guess.
Abe Rogers.
Okay, Abe. But Luke's telling that we own the mineral rights and that we have first right to that property. But Jack Mize is contesting that, and the Attorney General is going to render an opinion on it, but that's going to take 2 to 3 months. So that's where we're at on that one. And if we do get that, it's going to cost us around $10,000.
And that's the reason, I mean, if you do own the mineral rights in the real estate company, technically, that's probably true, but I'm not too sure whether there's been a contract signed, I don't know if that'll,
Yeah,
I would say it's a 50-50 crapshoot.
I don't know, Rick.
Well, I just keep hearing rumors about this Carlisle one, or Paxton, I guess it is.
Me too.
And supposedly they can't come up with any signed documentation, or Jack can't, that says his family's supposed to get it back if it ceases being used as a state highway building.
Did they say Jack had to come up with it?
Well, that's what I heard.
Well, apparently they
It'd have
didn't
to
have
be,
it.
it'd have to be in the deed, it'd have to be signed on the deed.
That's pretty deep.
Well, apparently the state knew that, because they told me that's what would be the snag on it all along. So they've known it.
Does he have to
But
pay,
Jack contacted them.
does Jack have to pay a fair market value, or how's that work?
Yeah, I think so. I heard the figure was like $89,000.
I heard 90,000.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I don't know that. I just hear
Oh,
that
is
through the
that little bit
grapevine.
of ground with those old buildings worth 90,000 to it?
Well, it wouldn't be to me,
Maybe,
but it'd sure be worth 10,000 for us.
yes.
Oh, my, yes.
I mean, you
Right in
can't,
the heart of that.
you can't,
Put the salt storage along.
That's a no-brainer.
you can't beat that place for us. Right in the middle of the district, right on 41.
So where are we at on it right now?
Well, that's where we're at. The Attorney General's got to render an opinion on who gets first choice at it, us or Jack.
So right now, we're operating out of Graysville,
Yeah,
and up here, north of town,
yeah,
Western
and
Highway.
District 3's out here at the garage.
District 3 out to the garage.
Ray will
So we
be
don't
looking
have
at
that one,
That's by-
Shelburne?
Yeah, got
Yeah, that's
54
District 1.
that's where Marvin's
50
operating,
rows.
No, Marvin's operating out of
out of the garage.
garage. And we can't wait to get them away from there and get us out, get them out of our hair.
Did anyone look at Jack Mice's deed to see what it says? The one,
Well, it'd be,
When they
it'd
deed it
be
to
a
the
Rogers
county.
deed.
is,
Well, he's dead.
I'm sure it would be.
Well,
wouldn't it?
but he sold it to them before, so wouldn't it be in, would it be in a historical file since he's already sold it to them?
I mean, most cases I've ever seen, kind of a re-entry like that in a deed, I mean, it's a recitation right in the deed itself, right in the body. Outside of that, it would have been a separate recorded contract recorded, but it's usually just kept in a deed.
Well, they charge him.
You see that mostly with our churches, if it ever ceases to be used for
Not really
a
that
church,
does, is
it
it?
goes back to the family,
You can find
or
out.
something to that effect.
That's gonna cost you. Yep.
Well, thereabouts is what Luke says. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's a no-brainer if we can't get it.
If we get it. Do we need HR to look into it, or what?
That's what I was wondering.
That's what I was wondering. I really.
I mean, will it really do us any good?
I don't
for him
think
to
it's
have-
our job to look into it.
No, it's not.
You have to get the
That's
attorney.
the state's
I think
job.
that's already been determined, I mean, as far as that goes.
We're gonna accept it if we get it, under
Right.
the chance.
Right.
I think that's kind of consensus of this board. We can't buy ground and put buildings up for that.
Basically there.
That salt building for 10,000.
Well, then what are you gonna do with that Graysville area once
I don't know, that hasn't been discussed yet.
District 2 quits having to use it?
We could sell it. I mean, we wouldn't need it
How much is
unless we
that?
got redistricted
How much
again.
area is there?
Rogers, you can't sell their part.
No,
How you
we
gonna
can't.
sell yours?
We probably wouldn't.
So what
I
kind
suppose we
of,
could still use it for storage.
Yeah.
what kind of building did, McCammon have down there at Paxton when we let go, when we let that lease go?
It was a portable building.
Did we
Yeah,
move
We're
it?
gonna move it. Yeah, it's on a trailer now, Marvin. It's on a trailer, sitting on that lot, waiting to be moved. Luckily, we didn't have to move it twice. Hyatt's allowed us to store it there for the
How
time
big a
being.
building is
We
that?
had to move it.
Just
I don't
something
know,
pretty
20
small?
by 20 maybe?
12 by 40, or
It's not that
Office
big.
area, isn't it?
Yeah, 20 by 20,
it's a job site trailer.
14 by 20, something like that.
We were down there, Larry, how big was it? We were there.
It wasn't very big, I'd say it went on 14, 15 foot wide.
Something can go down the road, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to have help, but yeah.
Did they build that, or is that one of
Mhm.
those pulling?
They built it.
On skids or?
Mhm.
So you need something on the Shelburne one now?
4350.
Okay, boys, now's your chance.
4350.
I'll make a motion that we approve that.
I'll say. Any further
Where we're
discussion?
gonna, the question is where you gonna pay for it, I think. the motion.
Oh, you'll figure that out, Rick.
I think we need to put that in the motion. Who's paying for it? Is it the general fund paying for it or the highway department paying for it?
Buy now, pay later.
I think they got enough to highway to do it.
They have enough the highway to do it, that's right.
Yeah, they got enough to highway to do it.
Okay. So then, they would need to do an addition for that, once it's approved. Okay.
You make motion, Larry?
Yes, I
I'll
do.
second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion on the Shelburne Old State Highway? All in favor? Okay.
Now,
Thank you
Benji,
much.
is there any reason that we need to get that checked quickly, or is it something that's, they're gonna wait
I
on?
think so, because the way he says, we can occupy it in 2 weeks.
So, that's beyond our next meeting, so, I would recommend that you, pay that. Now, they got extra money in the highway money, pay it, and then go through the additional appropriation process and replenish that. But don't wait on the additional.
Get it done.
Is that fair enough, Marvin?
Marvin get moved in there before May 1st.
So if they bring
May
you,
days.
they bring you a bill, pay it,
Yeah.
then go through the additional.
Or if they
I just
call,
want to bring, Rick, you brought it up, and I said something, Benji, a minute ago, and Brian and I talked about this, on the trucks. Brian and I was on the truck committees, and, you know, we looked at everything, went through everything. I'll tell you one thing we've seen that, and I know you'll probably work toward this goal, that when we started seeing some of these trucks, red and white, blue bed, white truck, and it just makes, I personally feel it downgrades the image that the county portrays. And I don't think this needs to be a motion, but I think if all the commissioners get, if it's red or black or green, you know, whatever. But I think we need to
White.
yeah, we need to standardize colors just to promote a better image for Sullivan County. And I think there's been some of that, better decals.
We've basically got whites and some reds, and I think when we buy new, we probably, and I've not discussed this with them, but we probably ought to go white. I think we've probably got more white than,
The last 3 or 4
Well-
have all been white, haven't they?
yeah, the new one in '07 was white.
The new
they
used
went
was red.
white and they got away from
The
it.
new used dump truck red.
Because the reds and the greens, one of those two colors, didn't show the tar and everything when you're blacktopping and stuff like that.
I think
The
all
white just showed all that and they couldn't keep it all.
I think all the pickups we bought, they were all white.
They were all white.
I mean, I'm just saying, whatever it is, I think we should come to it. I don't think it's our call at all.
I don't disagree with
You
you.
know, I just think we need to get something standard.
Do
same
you think so,
decal,
Marvin? I think we need to,
Something to promote a little better image.
yeah, okay.
You know.
I think the decals did a lot for us too.
Yeah,
really.
they look good. They do look good.
Get somebody local to do your decal work.
Yeah, they was out here when they were.
Graphics were.
Yeah, when it, out at Fusco's.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, need me for anything else? I got a grandson waiting on me.
Have a cookie to go.
No, thank you.
Take
Not enough. Had
We're
it.
disappointed in you, you didn't get both those state buildings.
Well, not yet.
Did Brody go to that ISU game the other day?
No.
Make him a
His stepson did. Thanks, guys.
See you.
Yep.
Okay, this one here is showing American Land Holdings, if anybody wants to see that.
That totals out the money.
The money we just approved.
Yeah, okay, I put one in all the folders.
Yeah, that's over here.
Just some of this information.
That's just your unemployment stuff, right? What we got there. What we got here on this ambulance service.
It was where they had to get that ambulance, because someone was sitting in the back end, so they used it 2 weeks, and it's gonna take more than 2, it's gonna be 4 weeks.
Is that being paid by the other people's insurance company?
My understanding is we did not have insurance.
Yeah, he didn't have insurance. He had a guy.
Do we have uninsured motorist insurance? I think we do. Should have.
He need uninsured motors.
If we have uninsured, then I should pay for it.
Yes, I'm sure.
I don't know that paper check was for her to see.
Well, we should, I mean,
You want me to call down our squares and see?
That report there is just what they're receiving. That's a report that I received from the people who collect for them. I believe if that's the right thing that you're looking at there, right. I get that on a monthly basis. I just make sure you guys have copies.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't,
that's
I don't,
just
do we have the thing
information.
from them, the Wayne's looking at?
They're going to need
You should have.
2,400.
Everybody's got
Should have on the
Well, she said that wasn't it.
That's not it. That's
No,
just
that's just the
information.
receipt. That's just.
Well, I don't see the other one you're talking about.
It must not
I don't
be in
know.
there yet.
No.
How much is it, Brenda?
2,400.
Yeah.
I would have thought they didn't even ask for it.
They have to pay it, I mean, they've
The
got money to
commissioners
pay,
have
Try to get
approved
it
it.
back.
but we've got insurance for them. Should have.
And I also went and wrote those checks for, gave them to Peggy. And I told her that I gave them to her against Dwayne's will. And I told her it was against my will too. And she started, saying, well, she was poor, that her boy got reduced lunches and all that stuff. But they're all
Stepped
gone,
off the subject.
they're all gone on vacation now.
That's fine then. We'll have,
You know it.
we'll have budget time
You
this
know
summer.
what went on.
We'll have budget hearing this summer.
But,
And I also
Back to
asked her
the-
why they, I also asked her why one got 3,000 and the others just got 1,500. And that's when she started telling me about her little boy again. So she didn't deny that she wasn't getting it, but
If she
but
does.
that little boy has nothing to do with that claim.
I know.
To be paid for the work you've done.
that's not the county's fault.
No,
You know.
I mean, that's beside the fact.
I
And
did tell her.
Did you research that anymore after our meeting?
No, she gave me some more stuff to look at, but it's really, I mean, it's just a commissioner's matter, it's strictly not a council matter.
It
so-
isn't, they paid it by payroll though, so now it becomes our matter.
They didn't pay
No.
for
They
the
didn't pay it
claim.
by claim.
If they
Yes,
didn't
they
take
did.
it out of
They paid it by
payroll.
claim.
They paid it by claim?
Yes, they
The
did.
paper said.
Take
Yes.
taxes out of it or just give them a full amount?
Okay.
They'll get 1099.
Then okay.
I made them all sign
They all
okay, I thought you
49s.
said you give them
1099.
a wage
Yeah.
W-9 for wage form last week.
Yes.
Did you change that?
No,
No.
1099's what we gave them.
I told her I wouldn't write the checks until I had them.
Yeah.
So if they get audited and it's an accepted thing, I'll have to pay it back.
That's their own business.
Yeah, it's their baby. Council's clearly out of it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can guarantee you.
We're out of it except when it comes budget time and they need more money.
But I still think it was very clear, yeah, she can give them the money, but it states they gotta justify the hour. And we
Well,
paid them for
remember-
the same hours we paid them wages for.
Well, see, that was, and the only thing I'll disagree with you on there, the way they compiled that, they had a statute, it was totally unrelated to that, right underneath it. So you were tying those things together when it was a completely different statute, not anywhere related to that one. So I know where you're coming from, but it confused the thing totally by including another statute to an unrelated matter.
Well,
So,
You wanna call, do we need to call Ben if we got uninsured motors?
yeah, I think we
You wanna call it?
can.
Oh, okay. I got the number here.
4711.
4711?
Yeah. But we've just always tried to be fair with raises and everything to everybody, and
Hey,
when
the
one
Rick
office,
Walters at the council meeting is a penny.
it's over twice what we gave everybody as a payment.
it's more of a public relations thing than it
It's
is. than it is
It's hard for us to justify this to everybody out there.
Legally, you're fine, public
There's
relations.
a lot about it, too.
You, I
Hey,
have
Ben, I'm at
to,
a council meeting, and we had an ambulance get rear-ended up on 41 here a while back. And the person that hit them was uninsured, I guess.
So Dwayne.
Do we not have uninsured
What's
motorist
what's
insurance?
going on with this
on our
ground
ambulances?
with the mices? I'm totally.
Well, so that the rental
What's going
fee that
on
they're
there?
trying to pass
What's that?
The deal with the
$2,400,
mines, Jack,
is that
the
cutting
ground
ground?
down there, I'm out of the loop, what's going
The
on?
highway down there, he won't know what's going on.
with the land that Mize is trying to get back to Tywell.
I'm out of the loop, what's going on?
Well,
So you, all we have is
The
the
state
state
built
damage,
this
is
new
not the
garage.
rental cost.
and
Okay.
originally, they was
Thank
gonna
you.
give us both of these properties
Won't take care of it.
for a certain amount of money. But Jack Mize says he's entitled to that ground and he wants it, doesn't want the county to have it, because his family originally deeded it to the state.
Okay, well, I didn't understand the mineral interest twist to it, what was it?
I don't know, he's,
Well, if you own the mineral rights of a piece of property comes for sale, you have the first option to buy it. I think there's a law on that. You know, Luke used to be in the realty business, so he probably knows what he's talking about.
No, it just passes with it, whoever, I mean, there's two separate deals altogether.
I
The
understand
surface.
that, but if I own the mineral rights and there's a
No.
question about ownership, I don't have first right of refusal?
No,
Okay,
no.
your argument, Luke.
You know where the property is, don't you? Down by
Yeah.
Paxton.
Yeah.
That belonged to Abe Rogers. He made a deal with the state. Jack Mize nephew, Abe didn't have any, well, he's got one son, but anyway. Jack inherited everything that Abe Rogers had.
Oh, okay, I got you, yeah,
That's,
yeah.
but Jack told me himself out there at Ag Day that, you know, they wanted him to come up with this paper saying that the state did, and he said, I can't produce that. I don't have all of age stuff.
Well, that's bad for him.
Yeah, it's not.
He already didn't get nothing, did he, out of that?
no.
So I'm surprised it's going to the Attorney General, whoever to make a
Yeah,
judgment.
that's,
It don't make sense to me.
I mean, John could take care of that one,
Yeah. So anyway,
but unless Luke or somebody took it to the Attorney General and said.
Probably that's the case.
well, it could be. I never thought about that.
I guess.
We do not have any rental insurance. We have uninsured motors to fix the ambulance, but we don't have uninsured motors rental. Well, they got money, ambulance, just pay it. We'll see what happens with it. Let's move on. They probably don't have a line item for that, do they? But that would be part of, you could charge it for maintenance, because you had to have that and keep going.
Had to maintain.
But when the bill comes for the fix of the ambulance, be sure to send that to Ben. You may have to pay for it, and he'll reimburse you when you do that, Diane, or you can inflate your appropriations by that amount.
I got a copy here of the money being reimbursed to us back into our rainy day fund for the air conditioning in the courtroom. It's supposed to be from the buildings and structures. So we got that refunded back to us there. What else we got here?
Mr. President, on another motion
Okay.
that we need to cover, we've done a courtroom before this meeting, and Eric Murray's done really a marvelous job on that courtroom, but we've been holding 5% of his payment back, right, as we pay him.
Yeah.
And I think he's running into some cash flow issues, so I think where we're at, as nice as it is, I'd recommend that we authorize the treasurer's office or the auditor's office to release the 5% retained whenever it's convenient for you to write a check.
I second that, I've been in there, they are doing a great job.
Is $16,250 is what it is.
That's how much it is, 16.
Well, it's whatever, you know,
That's what figures on these.
5%.
it was 325, so 15% of that, or 5% of that.
I'll
That's
spend
got a
it weeks
motion.
ago. Whatever day the tax sale was, I went in there and checked it out.
We need to talk,
Any further discussion on that?
we need to talk, so,
Who seconded,
we
please?
need to talk.
All in favor?
Right.
Okay. Motion carried. Is there anything here, just, is this just for our own?
Yeah, that's just for your own.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything in that, that's the sheriff's report there. Local government, what do we got here, Brenda?
That's just information.
Yeah, I can see.
Adjustments.
Yeah.
911, what it is. unemployment.
I did have this letter of the Association of Indiana Counties about getting money for that IBD and all of that. They've already talked to us, Maximus, that they're supposed to give us a free estimate for August. The courts and the clerks to get more money,
What's this now?
all that IBD incentive money.
Oh, okay. This is for 4D though, right? It's for more 4D money.
More money,
That's what we just went through.
yeah.
I think is that the general bill this time? It's for the auditor and the treasurer?
Yeah.
For your time spent on it.
Did we get a bonus?
They write a law line, that's supposed to be good.
Check the laws, HR.
We got the books on it.
All right, we've already done the additions there. What we got here, ID Solutions.
That, she didn't know for sure when she brought that in, it's, somebody, it's bail bond, she wants to take it out of bail bond money. They've come up with so much, then they've got more there that they gotta take it. She put a note there for you. She didn't know she needed to come.
25,554. She's got Kyle, I guess that's Kyle Perkins,
Community corrections.
6,000. That leaves 19,554 in the bail bond.
That's what she says.
What this salary, what's the 6,000 for?
She's got a bill there.
And Cog gets paid out of
For
grant,
there,
right?
yeah.
You want this paid to Interactive Digital Solutions for a bunch of equipment here.
She just brought that in just before we come down here, and I don't know a lot about it.
$22,893 worth of equipment. And then here's another $26,660. Platinum Plus maintenance contract.
Is that $2,650? 2650 you said?
2660.73.
2,600? Who's that from?
Kyle Perkins, Community Corrections.
After that.
That's probably for ankle bracelet.
Huh?
Probably ankle bracelet.
Oh, this says for the Sullivan Superior Court. Right?
Huh?
This is for that work that they paid for down in the Sullivan Superior Court, right? That's what it says up there, Sullivan Superior
Well,
Court.
they marked that out, but it's Superior, but
Well, this is for that new work down there in,
you think it's all that new equipment they put in there?
yeah. Yeah, this is what it is. That's that equipment at the bottom. The new burner.
Who brought it down, Brenda? What office brought it down?
I don't know what the 6,000 for Kyle Perkins is that, do they pay part of his salary out of that?
Well, yeah,
I think so.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they do.
But this is all that stuff down there, that's all that stuff down in Bob's Court?
Well, the first page, I thought that's what it was, but then I got back there to the back end with Kyle's salary being shown there.
I think what she's showing is they got
Angie brought that down from.
25,554, it's the total of this bill. And then, yeah, the two of these are 25, and then they pay Kyle 6, and she's showing, what's the 19,000? Is that how much is in there now, or is that how much is left after we painted it.
After they took Kyle's salary out, that's what I figured. That's what's left.
Left out of what?
Oh.
Jail bonds.
Isn't that what's left? It's
Yeah.
not enough to cover all those bills.
It's under Superior.
Unless they've got some other money there. Maybe Peggy's gonna bounce in the rest of it.
What does she have there, bail bonds? Do they have any in there?
But that there is this is this amount. Therefore, what are the rest of our pay 19 from the bail bond Superior Court Fund to Interactive Digital Solutions? No. So the 19,554 is what they gotta pay. I think the rest is paid by somebody, a grant.
Yeah.
That's, so how much is in bail bonds?
That's,
Have
she said,
bail bonds.
she said that's what was.
Superior Court doesn't have a bail bonds line item.
Well, I thought, didn't Bob say he had a grant to pay for this?
That's what he told us down there earlier.
Sounds like someone.
He said for the
This one,
majority. He
bail
said
bonds
for the
and Superior Court
majority.
Fund.
She just doesn't know where to pay it out of. I will take care of it. But there's another fund that.
It says to pay from the
their
bail
grant
bond
comes in.
Superior Court Fund.
Huh?
It says to pay 19,554 from the bail bond Superior Court Fund.
That's what she said.
That's the major problem.
No, that's what she was.
We don't have a bail
But
bond.
really should have went to Commissioner's Court cleaned this.
I think Bob you got to talk to Bob, because he told us he had money to pay for that, didn't
That's what he said. Less than an hour ago.
Send her down here.
he? Who brought that down?
And she from Superior Court.
Maybe he just wanted to show us that he had it.
Show and tell.
Order me to pay from bail bond Superior Court fund.
Okay. Anybody got anything here at the council?
We do that all the time. We take care of these.
Mr. Hunt, you got anything?
I got it.
Everything's good.
Everything looming over our heads is that True Blood case.
It's still over? I thought they filed bankruptcy.
The case is still ongoing.
Is that right?
Really?
Huh.
Is anybody gonna hear it?
Oh, yeah, it's in Vigo County,
Oh,
Division 6.
who's that judge?
Mike, gosh, I can't think of his last name right now, anyway. We've already had one hearing for him back in February.
So who's representing them?
Oh,
Fry.
I'm having a name, yeah, Fry.
Eric Fry?
Eric Fry, yeah.
That's who was on the original file. I didn't even think them people were still even around here.
When it's a similar case what they done in Vigo County.
Well, it's a little bit different fact pattern there. You know, we've got some better arguments than they have. I don't know. Plus, that was a municipal case too. That was versus the city of Terre Haute, not Vigo County. So, you know, you had all these municipal towing companies, and the city of Terre Haute wasn't really allowing, you know, they weren't really putting it out to bid per se. So it's kind of a different fact pattern.
Okay.
Is that
Brenda, Diane, you done?
You, Kenny?
talked to 2 or 3 different people, and they want to know about the redevelopment committee. And I said, well, we've got a committee, and they were. And someplace along the way, the redevelopment committee should make a report to get in the paper that they're making contact with. They can't name people, I know that, but give the public an idea that there's something going on.
They are out there
I've
looking.
had a couple of guys say, well, hell, are they doing anything? Well, I don't attend their meetings, I don't know, but anyway, I think Deanne or someone should give them an overview of what the committee is up to for the good of the county, you know.
I will say, Sonder, that the redevelopment, Dean Talley has been to every one of our bicentennial meetings, and the effort they're putting in, they're taking care of, you know, getting Carlisle's bicentennial out to different web pages, and they contacted everybody from the state level, and they were responsible for getting a person from the state level down to every one of our bicentennial meetings, and she has been a lot of help. They have been a lot of help. So I think that's something that they're not getting recognized for, but they are very helpful on that side of it.
Yeah, I know they do a lot, but nobody ever hears about it, and I think it'd be well to advertise our redevelopment committee.
Well, yeah, tell them too that their meetings are public.
Yeah.
And they're advertised. So you
I
might
go
want
to
to
that
attend.
meeting. First Thursday of the month.
Well, I think everybody knows that, but they like
Yeah.
to read it or something, you know.
They meet up at the, Ivy Tech building, at the hospital.
Yeah.
And I think it's in the lower left-hand corner of the Sullivan paper when they have that meeting.
Right. It's legal.
Like Tuesday or Wednesday in that little legal area.
It's in there every month, it's in there, right? It's in there every month,
Yeah.
meeting, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I thought once we got you on the committee, they'd be doing some more. What's the problem?
They're just out doing whatever they do. They're still just, they're checking their,
I know.
they got a Chicago meeting coming up before long. They're been out for this, but a couple of them contacted, said that they wanted something like 600 and some odd thousand square feet. Sullivan didn't have nothing like that, so they're out working.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's just, they're just not publicizing anything. I think
there's not a lot of places looking to expand right now.
Right. I mean,
The economy like it is.
Hey, Diane, you know, we loaned that money to Shelburne for that sewer, for that water leak. Won't there be some money, or isn't there some money in that, redevelopment area up there to start taking county back?
Tip, we should be getting, the tip
I
money.
know there was a little bit of it, but at the end of this year, we need to make sure we seize that.
Okay.
I don't know where the city is with their annexation. Do you know anything about timeframe on the annexation here?
No, I don't know, there's certainly got to be a hearing date coming up on that real soon. Because they had enough people to sign the remonstrance to get their hearing, so.
If Bob didn't accuse himself, they had appointed a new judge.
Yeah, that may be, that's what.
And I do want to say on that, we was notified by Lau that if they do get that to come across, that's a 10-year process for our office. They have that, if they do that, they have to become their own unit. Like all of our other townships and cities, all that area that is going to be brought into the city has to become its own unit. And the increase of the taxes is done over a 10-year period. And that is all done in our office.
So they don't get hit with the increase in taxes in the
All
first
at
year?
once.
It's a phase in over 10 years? I didn't realize either,
I knew it was, the time period I didn't know was that long.
the 10-year phase in.
Well, that won't be a tremendous amount of increase for them.
No, I mean, one of the girls that came down, I told her that might be a
So it's a
possibility,
10-year
because they always
phase-in.
ask us if we have that when we're doing our taxes, and I said, no, but I said, we have one coming up, and she goes, whoa. She
Well,
said,
the
"That's-
other issue we're gonna have is if the annexation does come through, we gotta decide with the redevelopment commission whether that's gonna stay a TIF area. 'Cause
That runs out, there's
I don't know. I mean, Clint has his own ideas for that, and, we've got money out there at stake to recoup,
Oh, yeah.
so. I've been told that until that money's paid back, it has to be paid back, and the city can't seize it, but I don't know that. I would think that would be the case, but I don't know. I'm just talking about that area up there.
I just cross the bridge when we get to it.
Right.
Okay.
Come on, Kenny, do your job.
I got one question. This is probably directed more towards Brenda. Brenda, on the townships, who actually monitors township contracts? Do we get copies of them in the courthouse?
Be the advisory board.
Trustee.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say the
advisory board,
trustee.
wouldn't it?
Advisory board.
Township advisory
Okay,
board.
I didn't know.
Yeah, we.
The advisory board's actually over the trustee, right?
Right.
It wouldn't be us, it'd
Okay, that's all.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Honey, you're in far, aren't you?